What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our SEC football channel. So we get going here with Kentucky. They do open up the season with Toledo and Eastern Michigan, and we don't have those rosters, but we're going to assume that Kentucky wins both of those games. And then they get into SEC play against Florida. You see here, Kentucky has a lead early. Remember, they ended the streak last year by beating Florida. The Gators, though, coming back, they get the touchdown here with Felipe Franks. And we have a 17-14 game, but right before halftime, Franks runs it in again, and this would give Florida the lead. They're up 21-17. Third quarter now, Kentucky battling back, but they throw an interception. Not a good pass there from Terry Wilson. This thing is ran all the way back outside the 40-yard line, but Kentucky still fighting back. Florida would add some points there. You see they're up 27-17, and Kentucky still has a chance, but it's going to be tough. They get the touchdown here to close the gap to 3, but they're going to need an onside kick. So it was a couple of field goals there that Florida added. That's how they got from 21-27. But Florida survives 27-24, and Kentucky will lose their first SEC game of the season. Tough loss there. They had that lead, but the that interception thrown by Terry Wilson maybe was the difference in this game. So Kentucky going to be 1-2 now overall, 0-1 in the SEC. They get ready for a big road test up next against Mississippi State. Let's go to that one. We're tied at 7 first quarter. Keaton Thompson runs it in for the Bulldogs, and they're up by 7, 14-7 now. Thompson taking a shot deep, finds a man. That's a touchdown, and that makes it 21-7. So Kentucky's struggling in this game. Now it's 28-7. But they come back, and all of a sudden it's 28-20. We're in the third quarter, and Kentucky has a chance to really get back in this game. Terry Wilson fumbles the football, and it's picked up and taken all the way in for the touchdown. And just like that, Kentucky is a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up. They go to the ground, and it does not work. So now Mississippi State with a chance to get this lead back to 2 possessions after they drive down the field, and they do indeed get that touchdown. That's going to make it tough for Kentucky, but they're not out of it. Terry Wilson here on 3rd and 7 eludes the defender, takes it all the way into the end zone for the touchdown, and now they just need a stop. 3rd down and 4, they get the stop, and Kentucky will get the football back. Actually, Mississippi State's going to try a long field goal here. The kick is no good, and that's going to give Kentucky great field position, but they get the drive started there with a sack, and all of a sudden it's 4th down and 18. And it looks like Mississippi State's going to get the stop, but then Kentucky delivers this pass. Isaiah Epps makes the catch, and they kick this field goal to win the game. What a comeback there from the Wildcats as they win it 36-35. Looked like Mississippi State had that game won, but Kentucky just kept fighting, kept battling back, and they were able to get the win. So a big win there for Kentucky as they will now be 1-1 in the SEC, 3-1 overall. And again, that would be a huge win if they're able to pull that off on the road in Starkville. Next game is on the road at South Carolina. Early on, it's Carolina getting the touchdown there, but Kentucky answers right back. And we've already done South Carolina. If you watched that video, you saw this team had a great year, upsetting both Alabama and Clemson. But this was a good game here. Brian Edwards with the touchdown catch. South Carolina right before halftime looking for more. And this was looked like a terrible decision. He stayed on his feet. The clock ran out, but somehow he was able to get in the end zone. And South Carolina gets the touchdown. They get another one here. And all of a sudden, it's 28-7, and South Carolina pulls away in this game. 38-13, the final score. Kentucky just couldn't get it going offensively in this one as they fall. And again, they will be 3-2 now on the season, 1-2 in the SEC. Next game is at home against Arkansas. We've done Arkansas as well, and a lot of these teams we've already done. And we still have to show the highlights because everybody watching this probably hasn't seen all those videos. So we have to show every game. But early on, it's Rakeem Boyd for Arkansas punching it in. They're up 13-0 here in the second half. Just the offense struggling for Kentucky. Finally, Terry Wilson breaks through. They get a touchdown. 3rd down and 14 here for Arkansas. Kentucky trying to get a stop and get the ball back. And that's a big play for Arkansas as they get the first down. And now on 2nd down and goal, they look to punch it in. Hicks throws and completes it for a touchdown, and Arkansas is up 20-7. Now Kentucky with the football. Terry Wilson trying to answer back, throws an interception, and again, a bad timed Badly timed interception there. Kentucky, though, still alive. It's 23-7. They get the touchdown here, and they're back in this game somewhat, 23-14. But Arkansas just does not let their foot off the gas. They get a big play there all the way down inside the 20. And we move on to the fourth quarter. Same drive. Hicks going to the end zone. It's caught. It's a touchdown, and that would be the dagger there. That would really just kind of put this game away. Arkansas wins it 31-14. So a couple of tough losses there for Kentucky as they lose to South Carolina and Arkansas back-to-back. And the schedule does not get any tougher because the next game on the schedule is against Georgia. This game was close early on. Tied at 7 here late in the first quarter. Georgia trying to get the lead. They go deep, and they get the touchdown. Tyler Simmons making the catch. Kentucky trying to answer back here. Again, a bad spot to throw an interception as Georgia picks it off, and they're going to run it all the way down to the 5-yard line. A chance to get this lead up to 14. They run it in. DeAndre Swift from 6 yards out. And Kentucky hung around, though, in this game. We go to the third quarter now, 28-19. This was a huge play as Kentucky, that ball just kind of floated out there from Jake Fromm. Kentucky comes up with the interception, and they run this ball all the way back, and we have a one-possession game. Turnover's a problem here for Georgia, but they punch it in there after a long drive. DeAndre Swift gets the lead back up to 2 possessions. Now Terry Wilson throws another interception. There were a lot of turnovers in this game. Georgia's defense coming up. There you see Kentucky had 2. Georgia had 5 turnovers. They take it down the field and punch it into the end zone here. That's pretty much going to put this game out of reach, but Kentucky's still fighting here on a 3rd down and 4. Terry Wilson going to the screen pass, and that is going to be a touchdown. So Kentucky, again, not going away in this game. They would go for 2, try to make this a 7-point game, and Terry Wilson runs it in. So, yeah, it's not over. 7-point game. Georgia needs a first down. Kentucky needs a stop, and it's Jake Fromm with the keeper. Surprising everyone, he runs it for a first down, and Georgia just kept this drive going on the ground and wound up getting a first down here, and then they could just take a knee. So Georgia is able to run the clock out. They get the win 41-34. So a nice effort by Kentucky. They came back in this game. Their defense forced turnovers, but at the end of the day, they come up just short as Georgia wins it 41-34. And Kentucky now really starting to stumble here in the middle part of the season as they are right in the middle of the SEC play here. Next game is against Missouri. Missouri up 10-3 at this point. Second quarter, Kelly Bryant runs it in for the touchdown as he is having a big day on the ground. Third quarter now, 17-6. Terry Wilson trying to get Kentucky back in this game. A little swing pass there, and nobody guarded him. I mean, he was wide open, so he takes it. Nobody covered him. I think in basketball there. But anyways, Missouri comes back with a touchdown here, 24-13. Kentucky now looking to get it in on the ground. That is Smoke again for the touchdown, 24-20. Missouri just keeps this lead stretched out. They keep it at a 2-possession lead. Every time they get the ball, they score. And it makes it really tough for Kentucky here on a 3rd and 4. The Wildcats going to the end zone. They do get this touchdown. Bryce Oliver makes the catch, and it gets it to a 7-point game. But they're going to need a stop. And Missouri, again, every time Kentucky would score, Missouri would have an answer, and they would just keep this lead out of reach. This time they run a kickback all the way for a touchdown, and Missouri has the lead back to 2 touchdowns. Kentucky didn't even score again. And that would do it. So Missouri 41, Kentucky 27. The Wildcats have played some good teams, really tough, but they just seem to keep coming up short in these games. The next one is against Tennessee, and there goes Terry Wilson for the touchdown. Wildcats up 7-0. Remember what Tennessee did to Kentucky last year? Kentucky looking for revenge this time. They go deep here. It's a touchdown. Lynn Bowden, I haven't really seen him very much in these highlights, but he comes up with a big catch there. And then it's the Kentucky defense getting a stop. They were really dominating this game early on. A second quarter now, they take it down the field. A.J. Rose runs it in for the touchdown. Kentucky's up 21-0. 21-0. Guarantano, though, trying to bring Tennessee back. This was about halfway through the second quarter on a 2nd down and goal now. They look to throw it. A little screen pass, and they're going to run it in for the touchdown. Makes it 21-7. And so they're kind of back in the game. Then they get another touchdown. All of a sudden, it's 21-14. We're in the second half. Another little screen pass, short pass out there to the running back. Tim Jordan runs it in, and we're tied at 21. And then Tennessee, after a stop, will take it down the field with a chance to take the lead, but Kentucky comes up with the interception in the end zone. Big swing in this game. Now Terry Wilson's going to run one all the way in for the touchdown, and Kentucky regains the lead. 28-21 now, and this is actually ruled a fumble, a backwards pass. Kentucky batted that away, and they wind up picking it up and running it all the way in for the touchdown. So a couple of really bad turnovers there for Tennessee, and Kentucky gets the lead back to 14. Tennessee still fighting, though. They would get this touchdown, make it a 7-point game. 35-28, Terry Wilson trying to put this game away for Kentucky. They go to the screen pass on 3rd down and 10, but Tennessee's defense is up to the challenge. They get the stop, and they have a chance to go down and tie this game up. Guarantano on a 3rd down and 15 is sacked, and that's going to make it 4th down. So 4th down and 18. Last chance for Kentucky. They're going to try to throw it here. Guarantano looking, throws it to the end zone. It is, oh no, he dropped it. That ball hit the receiver right in the hands. Take a look at this replay. Just a perfect pass. He just dropped it, and Kentucky is going to get the win. 35-28. They survive over Tennessee, and they finally get a win here in the SEC. They're going to look to get another one in the next game against Vanderbilt. Let's go to that matchup now. It is tied at 7 here in the second quarter. Terry Wilson in Kentucky with the football. Wilson breaking tackles, running this thing all the way into the end zone, and Kentucky has a 14-7 lead. Now Wilson with it again. 3rd quarter, runs it, and they can't catch him inside the 20, the 10, the 5. That's a touchdown, and Kentucky's up 21-7. Now 21-10. Vanderbilt trying to fight back in this one. They run it in there. Keyshawn Vaughn cuts the lead down. They go for 2 and don't get it, but Kentucky takes it back down the field, and they answer with a touchdown of their own, and that's going to make it tough for Vanderbilt, but they still keep coming. They get this touchdown, and we have a 28-23 game. Now Kentucky can kind of end this game with a couple of first downs. They get one here. Vanderbilt now down to 2 timeouts. After that play, they will be down to 1. Another first down, and this game's over. And Kentucky is able to pick up that first down. They get the win, 28-23. They survive here against Vanderbilt. That's going to close out SEC play. So Kentucky going to be 3-5 in the SEC. Then they play UT Martin. We're going to assume they win that game. So they finish up here with Louisville. A win could get them to 7-5. They get a touchdown here to go up 7-0 early, but this was a great game. We actually did this one live. If you missed it, you can go back and watch the full game if you'd like. But it went back and forth. And Kentucky here late in the first quarter getting a big play. We move on to the second quarter, same drive. They run it in for the touchdown, and they would be up 14-7. Now this would actually push the lead up to 2 touchdowns with this little run. A.J. Rose takes it in, and we have a 21-7 game. They would kind of keep that lead at 2 touchdowns, 28-14 here late in the third quarter. But Louisville comes back, and they make it a 7-point game. And again, Kentucky trying to keep this thing at about a 14-point lead. To keep it at a 14-point lead, they get this touchdown, and we have a 35-21 game. But Louisville kept coming, and they kept cutting this lead back to 7. And then they just need a stop. If they could get a stop, they could get the ball back with a chance to tie it. Terry Wilson on the run, runs over a defender, but he fumbles the football, and Louisville comes up with their stop. They get a turnover, and now they have a chance to tie this game up. They complete this pass. Actually, no, he is stopped. 4th down and 2. They're going to go for it, though. Huge play in this game. On 4th down and 2, Jawan Pass just runs it all the way in, and it's a touchdown for the Cardinals. We're tied at 35. 3rd down and 8 here. Louisville trying to get the ball back and maybe take the lead, but instead it's Kentucky going over their heads for the touchdown. Josh Ali makes the play, and it's 42-35. Now Louisville on 4th down and 18, really the last chance for them. Somehow they convert, and not only do they convert, they take it into the end zone for a touchdown. We are tied at 42. Just a crazy game here in the fourth quarter. Now Terry Wilson on 2nd and 4 completes that pass. That's going to get it all the way down inside the 40. They're trying to get into field goal range. Terry Wilson back in the shotgun. He's going to take off and run. They'll take it all the way down inside the 30, but he's short of the first down. Now on 2nd and inches, they actually run the clock down so that Louisville would have no time. They get it closer, and they have a chance to win the game. Here's the kick. It's up, and it's good. They will beat their rival. They get the win, 45-42, and Kentucky finishes the season 7-5. Not a bad season at all when you look at everything they lost from last year. I think Kentucky fans probably would be happy with 7-5. 3-5 in the SEC is a little disappointing, but still 7-5 overall is very solid, and that's what Kentucky turned out to be in here in our simulation. Again, we don't know if this is going to be accurate. Some of our simulations in the past have been very accurate. Some have not. So we'll just have to wait and see. Kentucky did not do well in our simulation last year, so keep that in mind. If they overachieve again this year, could be another really solid season for the Wildcats. Thank you for watching this video. If you're an SEC football fan, please subscribe to the channel. Leave us your thoughts down in the comments below. And for the latest in SEC football, keep it right here.